Welcome to today's episode with a very special guest, Simon, who immigrated from Vietnam, came when he was 6 years old, started in corporate America, but that didn't last long. He's been an entrepreneur for 20 years in several businesses, started in real estate a little over 6 years ago in single family, then transitioned to commercial real estate and into apartments. And Simon, would you mind sharing a little bit of your background and how you got started in real estate?
All right, well, thanks for the introduction, and thanks for the invitation on the show, Heard. So just very fortunate and to be invited to the show. So my journey in real estate started when my last business failed, and didn't know what to. I always want to get into real estate, just didn't know how to do it, and just started researching and on YouTube and reading books and stuff, and stumbled up on a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm sure most people heard of it, and the rest is history, man. It's like I was so addicted to it, I kind of changed my mindset, blew my mind, and couldn't stop talking about it. And somehow I was like, this is what I want to do. I had a business that I just started not too long ago with my ex-partner, and I just had something in my gut tells me that this is what I wanted to do, and I just ended up giving him the company. It's like, I don't want any part of it. You can have it, and I'm going. I'm going. This is what I want to do. Yeah, that's my journey into real estate.
Wow, that's amazing. I noticed you're into like commercial land. You've had some background in RV parks, mobile homes, and into commercial real estate. Would you tell us a little bit about your background and why you steered yourself over toward the commercial real estate and then into apartments?
Yeah, so I first started like I said, in residential. Did that for over 5 years, and then just look back and said, as when COVID hit, things just kind of died down, and that's when I had time to reflect and look back at my journey in real estate. Now, I always wanted to get into commercial, I just didn't know how, but I felt like residential didn't give me what I was looking for. Bless everyone's heart for doing it. I did it, but it just wasn't for me. I did it for a while. I liked it, but I think it's like a stepping stone. You lay one brick every day and things like that. But at the end of the day, I felt like I was chasing the next deal all the time, because the profits in residential is not quite as big as commercial, as you know. So splitting, partnering and splitting the profits after a while just wasn't enticing enough, and that's how I looked into commercial. And commercial, it's a team sport, which is, I love that, because I played sports most of my life, and it's a team sport, and that's where I excel, and I find out what I'm good at, and that's where I also identified where I'm weak at, and then partner with the people that actually help cover my weaknesses. So, and that's how I got into commercial real estate. There's a lot of benefits to it.
That's amazing, Simon. Yeah. Would you tell us a little bit of why you invest in real estate versus other businesses or assets?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I get asked that a lot too. And so I'm just going to share a few of the things that benefits anyone that wants to get into real estate, right? So, just statistically alone, 80 to 90% of the wealthy people, they own real estate, they invest in real estate of some sort, right? The real estate is also, it's a hard asset. It's a physical asset. And it retains its value over time. It just can't just get up and walk away. Typically,
Right.
Every one of these days, with everything, the world changing, it might be, but physically, overall, it's just, it stays there. It's a hard investment. And then, that the other part of it is the appreciation that you get out of real estate, right? Historically, it just always keeps, it's kept pace with inflation. And next, depreciation. I know a lot of people don't think about this, but you can write off the depreciation, and what it does is offsets your income. So if you're investing passively, you can offset your passive investment. If you're investing actively, oh man, there's it's definitely. I don't want to get into deep detail; that would be a long rabbit hole, but you can definitely take advantage of the depreciation in a big, huge way. And then another thing that real estate does is, it's a good income, like the cash flow that you get from it, similar to like dividends, like in the stocks, right? So when the property cash flows, you just kind of get a paycheck every month. But the good thing is that it's passive, when you're doing that. And finally, real estate, it's a great asset that you can kind of leverage. What I mean leverage is that you can use the bank's money, borrow bank's money to get a loan on the property. So you're not actually paying full price for the property. Like just for instance, if the property is $1 million and you have to put 30% down, you're only putting out 300,000. And then the bank is putting up the other million, right? So you're really not paying the full amount yourself. So that's huge leverage. You can just multiply that way.
That's amazing. Yes, that's how it works. Simon, would you tell us a little bit of like who you look for to invest with, or sort of how people can find great teams to invest with?
Absolutely, good question. So when I look for an investment or people, I look for their team. Look for their competency, their capacity. And when I say capacity, it's not just like, whether they have it upstairs or not, but do they have way too many projects going on? If they have way too many projects and their team is real small or they're solo, it's going to be hard for them to get everything done, right? So that's what I mean about capacity. It's all of that, right? Whether they can do it or not. Look at their reputation. That's very important to me. It's looking at someone that I work with, looking at their reputation. Are they honest, or do they have integrity? How they handle adversity, right? That's huge. It's not if problems occur, it's when, right? When it occurs, what do they do? How do they handle it? And how do they communicate with you? How do they communicate with others? As far as reporting, are they diligent at reporting? Do they run away from problems? What's their reputation like? That's all those things are huge when I'm working with people. Those are the things I look for.
That's great information. Thank you for clarifying that, like you did. And so on deals, like, do you invest in specific deals? If so, what makes you believe in a specific deal rather than other deals? Is it location or other things involved?
So, yeah, that's a good question. I live and die by this concept. It's people, market, and then the deal. So you have to look at who you're working with first. That's the most important. Then you look at the market, and then you look at the deal. So, for instance, I kind of went over the people aspect of it on the last question. Then next is the market, right? We look at the market, we dissect the market, we research the market, we look at the city, we look at kind of on a broader scope, and even before the city, I look at the state. Is it in a state that is landlord friendly? So, we try to stay away from places where we can't evict tenants that are not paying. So, a lot on the East Coast and the Northwest, or I'm sorry, the West Coast and the Northeast is we typically stay away from that. We focus more on the Sun Belt areas. And so that first, we look at the state, and then the city, then the zip code, and then the neighborhood. So but there's always a real estate saying that, you can change your property. The property that you buy, you can change it. You do whatever you want it to do. You fix it, you rehab it, but you cannot change the neighborhood. So with that said, that's why you do the research, so that if the neighborhood is really bad, or there's a lot of crime, there's not a lot of jobs, there's not a lot of migration towards, people are not moving there. There's some cities around the nation, and I can probably be in trouble by saying this, but like Detroit is not where I'm looking not looking at, because historically it's losing population, right? So I want to go where people are moving to. So it's all economics, supply demand. So that's what I look for. So that's for the market. As far as the deal that I look for, we really dial into the deal. We look at the inefficiencies in the deal. Okay. And what I mean by inefficiencies is whether it's managerial, whether it's physical, whether it's economical, right? And then lastly, if the numbers pencil out. But let me get back to the managerial. So, properties that are mismanaged, right? If we know that we can look at the property, we see that it's being mismanaged, and then look for ways that we can improve on the managerial part. We look for ways that we can improve physically and its appearance, and then economically. Like, can we add things to it? Like when we say value add, terms like can we add ways that we can add more income to it, like add parking spaces, that things like that we can increase the value of the property.
Awesome, thank you. That's a very good description of what to look for, and who to invest with. And Simon, one more thing before we end this show is a question that a lot of people have and don't know about, and that is about investing with retirement accounts. Are you familiar with that, or do you know of people that do that?
So I mean, definitely not an expert in it, but definitely you can invest with your retirement account. So if you have a 401k, you can move it over to like a self-directed IRA or solo IRA. Definitely not an expert, like I said, on it, but I can definitely point you in the right direction. There's many facilitators out there, like Quest IRA is one of them, that and they can you can contact them. They can guide you how they transfer the money out without actually pulling the money out. Because once you pull the money out of your 401k, you'll get taxed on it. But if you transfer through a facilitator, you can get that done. So there's many ways of doing it. That's just one or two ways of getting that done and investing with your retirement account.
Awesome. Thank you, Simon. Thank you so much for this. It's been a great interview, and it's been a great time with all the information you shared with us about how to get involved in real estate, what to look for, and why it's a great asset class to invest in. And so anyone want more information at eaglecity.com and that is Herb at ecmultifamily.com. You can look us up on our website at eaglecitymultifamily.com. And also we have LinkedIn and other social medias as well. And if you want to get in touch with Simon, you can email me or reach out to me. I can get you in touch with him. Simon, do you have a easy way for them to contact you if they want to?
Yeah, absolutely. You can reach out to me on Facebook or just Facebook Messenger. I'm on there, reply to it a lot, or LinkedIn. I'm at this point, I'm not as diligent on it, but definitely that's my goal, is to get on work on LinkedIn all the time. It's a very beautiful platform that definitely everyone, including me, to take more advantage of.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. And come watch us on the next show.
But thank you for having me, Herb.